You know that meme from Family Guy when they're making fun of talk shows and the guy's talking to his girl and he's like, "There's something I gotta tell you, Loretta. Frankly, Loretta, I'm not a man." And he unzips and he's a woman and he goes, "I'm a woman." And Loretta goes, "Oh my God." And then he goes, "Frankly, Loretta, I'm not a woman." And he unzips, zip, "I'm a horse." And Loretta goes, "Oh my God, you're a horse?" And then he goes, "Frankly, Loretta, I'm not a horse." And he unzips again, "I'm a lamp or a broom. I don't remember." And he's just a broom and it falls over. And she goes, "Oh my God." That's what this has become. So if you don't know what I'm talking about the non-existence controversy until somebody made it a controversy regarding this picture and the 50-year-long mystery into who this character is. And finally resolving the arguments over the identity of this character, because now, according to Wizkids and Wizards of the Coast, this character is female and always has been female. Or, more specifically, to use the exact wording, presents as female. Now, first off, 50-year-long mystery. Has this actually been a 50-year-long mystery? At any point in time, has somebody actually argued over the identity of this character? Are there Kirk versus Picard level of Reddit threads over who or what this is? The big mystery. This being the biggest mystery in D&D. I can think of at least 3 other things that I'm more curious about in this. And if I am going to discuss the mystery of this painting, it's going to be what's with the half-pants Elmore. This dude, Morduke, I think there's another one. No, that doesn't work. Why would you wear that? But okay. So they revealed that according to Wizards of the Coast / Wizkids, this is a woman. And it's always been a woman. We've just never known that because we've never seen them from the front. Now, according to about 10,000 fans, actually, we have seen this individual from the front, and it's clearly a man. More so, when asked 4 months ago about the picture, Larry Elmore refers to it as a guy, some guy, that guy, which left some wiggle room. And again, this is Wizards of the Coast canon, and they said presented as female, presents as a woman. Now, several individuals have said, nope, clearly the character in question appears on multiple covers in multiple different works of art. In fact, you can see their progression through this series of boxes, and it's clearly a man. Clearly a man. Yesterday, finally, after fighting this fight for a couple hours, Larry Elmore discovered this and posted a rather long-winded a letter of thingies. Sorry, I just lost it. Where he said, it's clearly a man. Gary wanted it to be a man. I painted it as a man. It's always been a man. Whoever thought it was a female is quite crazy and do not know what they were talking about. Now, a lot of people gave me shit because I said, it isn't right. I remember a picture of it being a female from the front. And a bunch of people said, no, you're stupid. Fuck you. There's never been any picture of that character where you can see them from the front, that it's a girl. And I was like, I remember a picture. And then they're like, no, there's plenty of pictures of this character and you can clearly tell it's a man. You just never see him from the front. There's no characters that I could have looked at and thought, hey, that's that character from the front. Right? Right? Not a one. Not a one. Not a one picture that Larry Elmore ever did that would make me think, hey, that's the same character from the front. But what I have been told is that Larry did several pictures of this character where it clearly says they're a man. So we're going to look at those. And the first one, of course, is this one. Same character, clearly a man. Is it? Same character, clearly a man. Is it? Not the same character. Not the same character. Not the same character. Character in question, clearly a man, wearing half pants. Same picture, same character. There's a girl. Except I think this is Dragonlance. There she is again. There's the dragon. Easily you can see how I could have confused them. Dragonlance. I don't know what that is. Nope. Same character? Well, in that one, there's clearly a man. Here's the larger version of the original painting. Here's the wizard. Here's a rogue. Here's our character in question. Larry was told to crop it because Gary wanted the dragon to pop out. The dragon was really the most important character in the picture. And that's what everybody remembers, right? The Redbox. You know, the one with the dragon on the cover. Nobody remembers this. Nobody ever says, the Redbox. You know, the one with the barbarian fighting the dragon on the cover. No, it's always the Redbox, the one with the dragon on the cover. Nobody remembers Fred here. Here's that same picture. Clearly a man. I could argue it's not. I'm not going to, but, you know. Same character. Clearly a man. Maybe. It's hard for me to see. All right, now I'm going to play Devil's Advocate by reading the responses, because Larry says anybody who thought otherwise would be dumb. Devil's Advocate number 1. Wizards of the Coast Wizkids says presents as a female. Not that it is a female. Presents as the female. Wizards of the Coast Wizkids says we've never seen this character from the front. And no point in time did Larry ever say, specifically, 100%, this is a man. He's a first level fighter in this picture. His name is Fred. Here's the same man. He's now an 8th level fighter in this picture. You know, here's the same man. He's now a 10th level fighter. Blah, blah, blah. All right. And, of course, anybody who thought otherwise is stupid. And one of the arguments I got over and over again was why people are upset about it was because Wizards of the Coast is changing D&D lore. At which point, Devil's Advocate, I would say, what D&D lore? When has this character ever been the topic of a discussion before yesterday? I can't remember once, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is deep lore in some layers of the old school that I'm not aware of, where this character features prominently in discussions. They just don't, you know, but basically it breaks down to Wizards of the Coast saying this is a girl. It's always been a girl. And everybody's saying, no, it's not. It's been a man. It's always been a man. And Wizards of the Coast in response saying, no, we said presents as a female. And of course, anybody who thought otherwise is, you know, crazy. Okay, here's some of the responses. I see this causing some unwanted drama. Personally, I think she looks pretty cool and still got the mighty thews. I must say Larry seems out of touch and sexist in the reply. A bit disappointing. I don't think he's being sexist. I think he's stating that when he painted, he thought the subject was a man. Difficult to dispute this statement. In my humble opinion, since the face has never been shown and the character is fictional, WizKid has decided on a new interpretation, which of course is perfectly valid. It's fantastic. Too bad Elmore is being weird about it. No one thought it was a female warrior. Whoever thought it was a female warrior is quite crazy. I mean, calling someone who considered the warrior to be a woman crazy sure sounds like something to be disputed. How many people told me that there was no point of argument, and once they said that Larry said it was a man, anybody who wouldn't say otherwise? And I responded, nope, you do not remember how Wizards of the Coast thinks. In Wizards of the Coast mindset, nothing before 2014 counts. The only thing that counts is 2014 to 2024 in regards to Wizards of the Coast perception of Dungeons & Dragons history. And if there is any chance for Wizards of the Coast to continue to push the false narrative, they will take it. And all we are doing by getting upset over this is giving Wizards of the Coast the chance to push their false narrative. See, Larry Elmore thinks men who present like women are crazy. Larry Elmore thinks anybody who saw that as a woman is crazy. You're crazy. You know people are saying it's sexist. You know people are saying it's transphobic. You know people are saying, well, this just proves why people like Larry Elmore need to get out of the hobby. Because that's not how we think anymore, right? That's what Wizards of the Coast is going to push. They had wiggle room before, and now you're giving them even more wiggle room because they said presents as a woman, and all you're saying is response is, you're evil, you're stupid, that's not what it is, and anybody who thinks otherwise is dumb. Which, of course, just reaffirms Wizards of the Coast, white dudes like me, need to get out of the hobby because before 2014, D&D was not inclusive. It was sexist. It was homophobic. Girls were never allowed to play D&D before 2014. Women were unwelcome, and there was no positive female role models in Dungeons & Dragons before 2014. But now, according to Wizards of the Coast, Wizkids' very unusual take on history, this artwork, which they own, has always been, since 2014, a woman. Or at least, again, presents as female. Very few people are saying Larry Elmore is right, Wizards is wrong. They're finding wiggle room to say Larry Elmore is sexist, to say things like, well, we never actually do see the character from the front, and you never actually said it was a man, so why would it be wrong for me to think it's a female? And for the people who said to me, there's no pictures ever of seeing this character from the front, you're remembering it wrong, you're stupid, I would bring up, that certainly looks like the same character. That certainly looks like the same character. In fact, it's the same dragon. So I can clearly see why in my befuddled tuna fish, autistic, dyslexic, fucked up brain, why I might have thought I saw a female picture. I can also see why other people might have made the same connection without even realizing it. Because again, do we really see this guy's face in the picture? No. Do we really see this guy's face in this picture? No. Did Larry ever say before yesterday, yes, this is a man, his name is Fred, he was a first love? No, 4 months ago he said it's a guy. It was a guy. Gary wanted a guy, but really it was all about the dragon. What is it everybody remembers about the Redbox? The dragon. Nobody remembers Fred. Fred doesn't come up in conversations. When has Fred the fighter ever come up in a debate? Where are the Kirk versus Picard levels of debates over the identity or gender of this individual? Passing glance, look at it. It logs in the unconscious, and then passing glance, you look at this character or any other of Larry's females, and I can see why I made the mistake, and I can see why others made the mistake. You tell me it's female. You tell me it's always been female. I've seen one picture of this individual. I remember this painting, so in my mind it's always been female because that's just the connection my unconscious makes. And the more you push against that, the more my unconscious is going to lock on the fact, well, no, my head canon says it's female, and Wizards of the Coast agrees with me, and I don't have any reason to go deeper down the rabbit hole, which is what Wizards of the Coast was counting on. You're telling me Wizards of the Coast didn't do this on purpose? They absolutely did this on purpose because they knew they would get the response that they're getting. Why? Because they're distracting us. Ironcaster yesterday on Tuesday with Geeks, when he was talking to the T-shirt historian, talked about how whenever it feels like Wizards of the Coast is not getting attention, they do something to flame the fires so we're paying attention to them again. And this is exactly what this is. And while we're angry about this, while we're angry about the changes to D&D Beyond, while we're angry about Vecna, we're not paying attention to the changes to the SRD. We're not paying attention to the fact that pretty much Wizards of the Coast said that 2014 to 24 D&D and 24 D&D going forward are now two separate games. And anything you put under the 2024 D&D after September will fall under the legal ramifications of the new SRD, which I assure you will be way different than the previous SRD, and will have all the things that Wizards wanted to do last year with the OGL change but never got a chance to do, presented in a brand new way, less obvious. But we're not paying attention to that because we're paying attention to the identity of this character, and that's exactly what Wizards of the Coast wants. Now you've given them plenty of ammunition to continue to force the false narrative of us being sexist, homophobic, Larry Elmore is old and shouldn't be contributing to the hobby anymore. How dare he say that he thinks anybody who projects as a woman is, any man who acts like a woman is crazy? Because that's what the takeaway is going to be. That is the narrative Wizards of the Coast is going to push. And anybody who doesn't think otherwise hasn't been paying attention since 2015 when I first started talking about this. Go back to my very first video on the old channel. Oh, you don't care about the legacy, blah, 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 blah. Go back to all my fights with Garaby when I was still being stupid and interjecting with Garaby. This isn't new. This is what they do. Look, here it is again. I could easily see why I mistaked it. This is them drawing attention away from what they're really doing in the hopes that we don't notice all the changes when 2024 D&D comes out. Now, let's end this with the real mystery, okay? Because I think the real question everybody has is, what is with the half pants?